rapping for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Modify Your Life podcast, where this is your host, Anthony Lopez, and where we talk about changing your life. Oh, wow, let's go. Let's get a good one, huh? Mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. And today we got our guest round two, which we said we're gonna have this, and I said that I was gonna talk about some stuff. You know, I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm excited to see what you're gonna help me with the next 6 months to 12 months.
We gotta let everybody know the truth.
We gotta let them know. So I was thinking the title of this, right? The title of this podcast, the reason why you click this video is you're bad without it, so you're bad with it.
Okay.
Right? And what I want to kind of get into, what we're going to get into the subject now, we're going to talk about a lot of finances. Right? Because at the end of the day, I've changed my life physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. But just because I changed my life mentally, emotionally, financially, doesn't mean that my discipline also went over to all these all at once.
Right.
I was focusing on the gym stuff.
Right.
Focusing on social media and helping people. Mm-hmm. But I was not focusing on my spending habits. Right. So last time we had talked, I said, you said you're going to, you'll help me with my credit and stuff like that. I was like, well, let's get you on here. Let's talk about everything, how I got to where I was. Because my weight loss journey actually has a lot to do. Well, the start of my weight loss journey has a lot to do with my credit being messed up, along with, it's all my fault, obviously. And then I want to know, why we don't know this stuff. Because I don't know. I didn't learn any. I've learned more from you about, I got to say you and Angel, he's the one that helps me with my books for, taxes. I've learned more from you guys in the last, I've only known you for a couple months, 2 months now. I think it's barely 2 months.
2 months.
And then Angel, he's been helping my books for a while now. I learned more for you guys than I've ever did in any type of schooling, whether it be high school and college, right? And people aren't aware that there's so much they could get away with by having LLCs and all that, which I know about now. But I didn't, bro, when I was overweight and making bad decisions and had no self-control, no discipline, bro, I didn't care about credit cards, baby. It was swipe.
That's right.
Fast food was a lot of it.
Yeah.
That's also crazy too. We can talk about how much people are spending on fast food and not even know about it, right? That's
Without
finances,
budgeting.
bro. That's a budget, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot. And so first off, just right off the back, man, like why is our credit so important to us? Why is our credit important?
The number one thing everybody has to realize that credit is important because this country operates solely off credit. Yeah. Everything is credit, which leads to the whole thing. Why did 12 years of schooling not talk about credit? Right? It goes deeper than that. And so without sounding too conspiratorial or conspiracy theory, the word conspiracy means to conspire, right? So this nation was founded on a lot of fundamentals, a lot of things hidden from people. For some reason, a lot of things were hidden from people. So we have to realize what are those things that were hidden. So if things run in this country off credit, why didn't they teach it in school? As long as you could ask yourself that, then you can get to the next point. Well, why don't I know about it? It's your choice at that point. If the thought has come into your mind as to that you don't know nothing about credit, possibly because no one taught you credit, whether it be in school or your family members, now it's up to you to make the decision.
Uh-oh. Heard that before.
Right. It is up to you to make the decision. I've made you aware today that you don't know about credit because it's been hidden from you.
Yeah.
Period. On purpose.
Also want to highlight that we all thought about it. Because everyone pays taxes. Well, we're supposed to. If you're not, then hit me up. Let me know you're getting away with that.
Everybody.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it once again, I literally feel like I say this every single podcast, especially when I have someone other than Modify Frankie. Right. This is why it's called Modify Your Life. This is why I knew what I was doing when I was starting this podcast. There's so much more I've learned in the last 5 years about myself and about life than just a weight loss.
Yeah.
Right. And more than discipline and consistency. I learned finances. I learned how to make money. I learned how to grow a brand. Like there's so much. So the fact that I would restrict myself to only talk about weight loss and weight loss stories when I literally preach a life change would be discrediting to people listening right now. Right. So to have someone that is talking about not only why credit's important, but you're helping someone who a lot of people, I'm not going to like gloat, but like maybe look up to or but whatever it might be, reason why they're following this podcast and listening is like, I'm telling my truth and I'm actually making the change with them.
Right.
Like people are following me and making the change with me with weight loss. The same thing with the credit, because at the end of the day, like there's more I want to do in my brand.
Definitely.
There's a lot more that I want to do. And we're on the right track. We just had an amazing conversation off camera. But there's a lot I don't know.
Right.
I understand there's a lot in life that I don't know, and I'm so excited to learn it.
Right.
And this right here podcast is something that I'm going to go back and listen to. And then I'm going to go back and watch this in 6 months, and we got to shoot another one. And we could talk about the update from there, you know?
Right.
But, you know, I feel that if you're listening to this because you're looking to change your life around, this is going to be one of those steps in change your life around, because if we don't have consistency and discipline to work on ourselves and our health, then most likely we're living paycheck to paycheck. And that's a lot going to be with fast food, right?
Correct.
Poor decisions, not focusing on what really matters, and having fun every single weekend instead of putting some savings away.
That's right.
Because I know I had no savings
Right.
when I was 400, 500, 600 pounds.
Right.
And I would hate to say like, well, that's the reason why I didn't have a savings, but I think it is because think about it. If I didn't have the discipline and consistency to work on myself, then I'm not going to be able to work on my finances.
That's correct.
My finances, I never cared about them.
Right.
As long as I could get my Camaro and I could get a credit card to
Right.
swipe it, I was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I didn't know how important it was until, honestly, recently, until I got slapped with a fucking IRS bill.
That's right.
That's exciting.
So everything we do is habits, right?
Yeah, it's all
so
habits.
Everything that we eat, how your place looks, if it's clean, if your closet's clean, if your bed is made, everything has started as habits from when you were little. Your habits were formed by your parents.
Yep.
And so on and so forth, each generation. So the habits that they teach you in school are what? General education. Now, they've left the door open, just cracked a little bit for people that do want to aspire to become more, but either that's self-taught or that 1% that was taught by someone else.
Yeah.
So those habits are formed. The language from those past families is different at their homes than just your general 90% of people in America. So the conversation at home from the diet, how did the parents eat? However the parents ate and whatever they give their kids for breakfast is exactly how the kid's going to turn out. So imagine the financial talk. What is the financial talk? If you have, back in the 50s, let's go a little back just real quick here. It was normal for the wife to be at home and the dad to go out and work a factory job, labor job.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
That's how this country was formed. But the children got to be home with the mom, go play outside or watch some black and white TV. The dad comes home, they have dinner, whatever the mom cooked. That was just the way this country was founded.
As a family.
As a family, blue collar workers, right?
Yep.
So the conversation is the dad is tired when he gets home. He doesn't have much to talk about. He labored all day. So what does the mom do? She continues talking to the kids, but she's a homemaker. So what language does she speak? So it's inevitable that the kids were only going to learn Leave It to Beaver or whatever shows were on back in that days. So they really didn't know the financial talk. Little did they know about how to eat correctly.
Yep.
The only foods they had taught to them were what was the pyramid.
What was on the table?
But remember
Oh,
the
yeah.
pyramid?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, the good old freaking, what is it? Is protein even number one on the pyramid?
I don't even know if it's on there.
It's on there for sure.
Right.
But
It's like at the bottom.
Bro, I don't even know now because I just seen them freaking say
Right.
that Lucky Charms is more healthier than you than steak, and I was like, yeah, this world's going down fast.
And the reason I go all the way back is we have to know where we were at to know why we're here today.
Yeah.
Most important thing. So the language back then was spoken to whatever was on TV and whatever, let's just say the government or the powers that be wanted you to know and wanted you to learn. He's got it up there, you see?
Bread's at top. Bread. Let me just, for anyone wondering, before you're driving to try to Google that, they have bread at the top of the pyramid instead of protein.
Right.
And then dairy.
Now, why don't we ask this question? Who put that together? Who wanted you to know only that information, right?
Yeah.
So did the people that create that, and then people are going to say, oh, well, the studies and the universities or sure, but that was publicized to the public. Again,
Because-
it was the programming.
Well, I was about to get into that. It's publicized to the public, and we're taught to listen to things.
Correct.
Right? School bells go off, you know to stand up and get out of class.
Right.
Like, it's all that stuff, and I really like what you're talking about this stuff at home.
Right.
Because
That's where it starts.
Yes, 100%. Like, I sound crazy for saying this, but people know who I am if you're listening to this damn podcast. And if you're the first time listening to this podcast, hey, hello, welcome. I promise you I'm not crazy. What I say actually makes sense. But I feel like obesity is like racism. It starts at home.
Correct.
That's where you get it from.
Correct.
You get it from your surrounding the people. If your parents are healthy and teaching you healthy ways, right? I know some people that their kids think popcorn's a snack.
Right.
Bro, a snack to me was a bag of chips and a soda.
Sure.
Right? Now, I'm not blaming my parents. There comes a point in life where you have to understand that it is up to you to make those better decisions.
Right.
But that's what I was raised off of. It was cute for the little chocolatito to be eating McDonald's,
That's
a full-on meal at the age of 3. It's a cute photo, cute video. But you know, that stuff's raised at home. And getting onto the finances that you're talking right now, I 100% agree that you are like a habit of, what is it, like habit your creature of your habit. Because I don't think that I would be as, and I say money driven, it gets people mad, right? But as money driven, and I'm money driven because I know the harder I work, the more I will make. The more people I help, the more money I will make.
Right.
The more money I make, the more I'm actually allowed to help people. I'm actually helping people with Thanksgiving stuff, you know, this year.
Right.
You know, so I'm driven, and I don't think that I would be so driven right now if I didn't see my uncle own a business, because I've seen all my other uncles and aunts longshoremen, right? They all make great money being longshoremen, but they're all 9-to-5 workers, right?
Correct.
That type of work. But when I seen my uncle own his business and walk in with his suit, looking super fly, and then, you know, seeing the things he sold and how he talked to people, like I just loved he looked fly as hell. He had a Hummer, Mercedes, like it was a whole thing, right? And I think if I didn't see that for my uncle, like, cause I would have been comfortable being a 9-to-5 worker, but I seen the other side of like $1.5 million home in Irvine or Yorba Linda. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like, because he was in my life, it opened up my eyes that there's more.
There's more.
It wasn't just a 9-to-5 worker or X, Y, and Z, or it wasn't just go to college or you're not going to be successful. It was like, wait, my uncle, like, he owns a business. It's like, that's his. Like, they have to answer to him. I love that. I always used to go there and be like, hey man, you better do your job and tell my uncle to fire you. I used to work on the young age. Yeah. But if I didn't have, I don't know if I would have the same business drive that I have today if I wasn't surrounded by that.
He made it possible.
It made it possible. And then it led into like me hanging out with Daniel, the owner of Premium. And he's put me in circles with people that are making $100,000 a month, right? Meals a year. Yep. And I'm like, oh crap. But he put me inside, well, when I could fit in him, he put me inside like a Lamborghini, like, you know, a P1 and I'm best friends with this guy. So I'm like, wait, if he could do this and I could do it, like, you're 100% right. Like if you're not put in that environment, you feel like it's not touchable. Sure. You feel like that they're too good for you or that's impossible. Like you put yourself in a glass ceiling. But if you would just get out there and just shake a hand with someone and they could kind of like, not saying that everyone's going to take you in their wing, right? But if you just get a little taste of like that lifestyle that you're willing to work for, it is an eye opener. You know what I mean? Because at one point I was just, you know, someone brought to a table, you know what I mean? And I got to really absorb it. I'm like, I want to be there. Like, I want to feel like I'm worthy of being at this table. You know what I mean? So it's really true what you say is like the exposure of it is an amazing feeling.
That's right.
And hopefully someone gets comfortable being uncomfortable and puts herself in a situation where they could actually be around people that they really aspire to be like, because it's a really big eye opener.
That's all it really is. And people don't realize that in this day and age, this is the only time that we're all alive that we're exposed to whatever we want to learn. So this thing, people use it to either post pictures or control a business, right? So I control a big business. You control a big business out of your phone. And a lot more people do now than ever. Yeah. The exposure is there. But those people that do not choose to either lose weight is on them. Those people that choose not to level up their credit or their finances, that's on them. But again, the dawn of the days when this country was founded, it was founded on certain principles, but with certain things behind it. Everything took time to build. Yep. But you were only privy to certain information is if you were part of the upper echelon. The upper echelon being the families that run the world. There's 13 families that run the world. This is all information that you all can look up. Now, why do they do it that way? These countries are ran by 3 central banks, period. 3 central banks run this. So for us to think we have the power, which we've heard you do have the power because it's in the palm of your hand, you do have the power now.
Battery's over there. Looking for his battery? Over on this side. You gotta grab her on the tree. He's like, I seen him freaking out. I was like, hold on. The Big John, don't let that thing die. Yeah. Did it die yet or do you know? No, it's about to. You better plug. Man, we got Big John over here about to save the day. Big John is about to save the day right now. Uh-oh.
Got it.
Nope. I ain't gonna reach. You gotta come on, Big John. Everyone, we're having technical difficulties. Francine plugged everything inside of there, huh? Is it cool if I unplug the TV? Yeah, it's fine. It's more important. All right, okay. All right, go back to it. There it is. Big John saved the day. We almost lost. The laptop almost died.
They're not going to hear the truth.
Yeah, so get right back into that, but let's go.
The point is again, back in the days, you were not privy to anything. You are not privy to anything still to this day. If they want you to know something, they'll allow you to know. Period.
Agreed.
And so if people don't know credit or finances or how they can be their own bank, it's because the language wasn't spoken in their home before. Generation after generation, we've led up to this point. I don't want to bore anybody with how far this is or where we're going deep with it. But I'm going to start with this statement. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm also not a CPA or your tax advisor. This is merely for entertainment, okay?
All right. It's entertainment.
But take it how you want. The point is, the doors have been opened and they're only open for such a limited time right now. Mm-hmm. The opening as far as the information you can consume to level up your life. I've seen a 10-year-old kid get rich in this day and age, become a multimillionaire. Yeah. This is the only time in history that if you're born right now or you're in this era and you can have one of these and have a Social Security, you can level up your life. There is plenty of people making millions of dollars daily. But to the 13 families, the $1 million or the person worth 200 to 300 million that are admired by the regular people, they're just a fart in the wind compared to the big money that really exists.
The big money, yeah, the yachts.
Big money.
Big money, the real money.
So who am I talking about? The IRS, right? So the IRS code book is probably about this big, but it only favors two types of people in there, and you got to choose to be one of them. If you're a W-2 worker, good luck in this world, unless you're going to use it as a stepping stool to learn business so that you can start your own business. But the codes are written out, as we've all learned, those of you that are paying attention to how this works, is simply for the entrepreneur business owners, right, that start a business, or real estate investors. If you're one of those two, you play alongside with the IRS. They benefit you. So what I'm encouraging people to do is fix your credit. Why? The moment you fix your credit and you start an LLC, even though you work a W-2 job, getting taxed by the IRS 30, sometimes 40% of your earnings, get an LLC. Start learning business fundamentals. There is business funding available to you. But none of that will start is if you do not start working on your credit, right? Yeah. So I'm the guy they call when you've already got your weight loss set up, you're already done, you're making $20,000 a month. I'm the guy they DM. If you're making less than that, don't even DM me. Don't even call me. If you haven't even worked on your body, you haven't changed your life, you haven't changed your diet, don't even call me. Because that is the discipline. It starts within yourself.
Damn.
So if your discipline is good at home, if your discipline, your language, if you're piquing that interest, man, I got family members that don't even call me to ask me how, whether it be pride or because they still look at me like who I used to be in my past. One of the two is going on in their head. But for them not to ask me, hey, man, I want to get my credit on point. Hey, man, I want to start my LLC. Hey, I want to get a business. I want to do such and such to level up. They've not ascended to that level. Therefore, I can't go rescue people. I can't go save anybody that don't want to be saved.
Facts.
Right? So the people listening to this, they've already started, let's say, with your program. They've already hit their weight loss journey. Now they want to level up.
Which happens.
It does.
I have a couple clients. I have one client actually that's about to become her own online coach. Right. I'm so proud of her.
Right.
And and people are listening right now, and they don't understand that if you listen to this podcast, you go listen to your podcast, you go listen to anyone that's put in the work, right? In their category of work, they're going to talk about the same thing: discipline, consistency, taking yourself serious, self-respect. Get your life in order. Get your credit in order. They're all saying the same stuff.
Right.
They're hearing the same shit on my podcast that they're hearing on 20,000 other people's that have done the work. So if everyone's talking about the same thing, don't you think it's time to start take someone that you actually like their voice or what they talk about and start implementing?
Right.
Because we all talk about it. We just have different stories to share about it.
Right. So this will be the first that'll be spoken on your podcast and is not being spoken anywhere else.
Ooh.
A man with a ITIN number, right, which is a legal work social. If you're from a different country, you know what I'm talking about. You can come to this country and start an LLC. Most people think you have to have a Social Security and be an American citizen to have an LLC. So let's just say you are a foreigner, you come to this country, and I'll show you proof in just a second, but I want to start a project and just take one individual who owns a landscaping company. Let's just say Jose, he has his truck and he has 2 lawnmowers and he goes and mows lawns. I can take Jose, who just has a work social to file his taxes, and do an LLC with him. And now he can go ahead and get business funding with his LLC, with his TIN number still. Okay, and go buy maybe 5, 10 lawnmowers, get 5, 10 of his cousins, and now he's got a full-blown business.
It's a full business.
But nobody talks about that. I wonder why they don't want you to know that with a TIN number, an ITIN number, you can go get an LLC.
Because that's going to stop. That's the less people know, the more money they're worth. The more unhealthy people the world is, the more money they're worth.
So there was an old saying before when this country was founded that if you don't want people to know, put it in the books. Write that information in books. Why? Because people didn't read before. So the elites would say this, put the information in the books. It still rings true to this day. Yeah. People will not want to read or pick up the phone and do some research. Now, I'm going to give another nugget. How is what I'm saying true? If anybody here is watching this from Pakistan, I have friends from Pakistan. People from India and Pakistan are known to have hotel chains. This is what they do. It's very simple. One guy, first, I don't even know the year, but the Patels came from India.
That's crazy. My babysitter was named Patel.
This is a real story. They got into the hotel business. Then they brought a cousin over. The cousin stays with him or her under a whole year or two working, even in the gas station business. And what'll happen is they pay them. When that cousin has saved up a year or two of money, they say, now, cousin, let's go ahead and open up one together. They go open up a hotel together, or they go open up a gas station together. In the meantime, with his ITIN number, he was able to file taxes, started building from there. Then they go get an LLC. Now they own a gas station together. Once they get it up to a certain point, he can go off and open up another gas station by himself while they still share this one. See, what happens is they're able to pull each other up. So foreigners from other countries will always succeed here if they keep doing that, pulling each other up. It is the ones, us who are born here, we don't even care because we're full of abundance, but we're taught one thing, W-2. The old, I said it last time, the old Caesar system, right? The Roman Empire. That's what America really is it's running off those old fundamentals in the sense that let's teach 90% of people to be labor workers because we could tax them 30%.
And then only tax the actual business owner 5%.
Right.
Sometimes not even any when you do it the right way.
Right. And so business owners pay nothing in income taxes necessarily, or business taxes. They have a lot of write-off and expenses, but they pay taxes in other forms. While the W-2 worker makes his 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 a year. No, physicians smiling and saying, I'm paid, but they give 30% if they don't know what they're doing, which most cases they don't. They give 30%. How much is he really taking? Maybe 200 out of that 300.
But then 400. You pay tax on everything you buy.
Everything you buy. So you hear this language finally being spoken.
Yeah.
Here, other places. But the point is, again, they're not going to start if they just don't take the decision to start today. Because the information is not out there if you're not looking for it.
No.
The school is not going to teach you, right? Same thing with Harvard. Harvard is a business. MIT is a business. They sold the branding to you. The branding is amazing. It's a la carte. You can pick, I want to go ahead and study that. But if your parents told you, you better go to college, get a degree, you're just going to go spend your money and time and pay that brand. But you know what? MIT and let's just say Harvard, they are very smart with their brands. They will deny you and say, no, we don't want your application. We'll keep it for these. And then they pick those that are of a high level caliber because it makes their brand look better.
Yeah, they control who they're letting in and where they come out, as in, oh my God, this person came out and became an astronaut. This person became a best scientist. Like, yeah, so they're not letting their brand get watered down.
So I bring up university for the reason that at the language at home, some parents are just go to university, life's going to change. Just go to college, you'll be successful. Not even giving them direction, how to manage money, how to file taxes. I mean, really, how to run your credit, how to budget. Nothing.
Well, because they don't know.
They don't know.
A lot of people don't know. They simply don't know these things, and they're told to go do this and go to school and come out in debt. I'll be honest. I knew that I was not meant for school.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of people out there that know they're going to school and they've already went to school or college and they're like, damn, I feel that I wasn't.
Right.
ADHD. I didn't even know I had that as a kid.
Right.
But now I know, and now I know I have ADHD and stuff like that. And I have one more thing. What am I, dyslexic?
Okay.
So I had two things that I never knew until literally I became 30 years old and I took these tests. I'm like, damn, that makes sense my whole life. Like, because it was very hard for me. But I knew that, you know, I liked selling things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I knew that I liked to, you know, like elementary school, I would burn CDs. Shout out to my mom. I destroyed her computer.
Wow.
Right?
Right.
Destroyed it with Napster. Complete destroyed it. Went from burn CDs, $5. Every single Friday, baby, everyone got, you know, saved with their lunch money, bought CDs. You know, that was it. I would make about $100 a week. Right. Then went to junior high selling vape and G-Shocks. Right. And then went to high school, became a DJ. Right. And then I started, that was pretty much it until I started selling vape juice. Okay. That was killer when the game was right. Yeah. But like, I always knew that I wasn't good in school. And I was okay with that. Like, I just didn't like school. I went to school to socialize. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed hanging out with people, playing football, playing sports. But it wasn't for me, right? And so when I went to college for a semester is when I realized, like, no, I'm not gonna become in debt, right? Now I didn't. Now also with me saying that, I never put in the work to be a real entrepreneur. I was just I would talk a big game. Right. I got to a little success, right? And when I mean little success, I'm talking about a couple $100, maybe $1,000, maybe a month, whatever it might be. Right. But it was never really like I took the time to learn it. Didn't pick up a book, right? But as I got older and as I started working on myself, as I, you know, became, you know, heavy to modified, then I started to grow into, you know, actually putting the work to run a business. And this is where we're sitting today. Right. But even though it took me years to shut up and actually just work on myself physically and financially, right? I still did not know all the information about this IRS stuff. And I knew we had to pay taxes. That's common sense. Everyone knows that, right? But I didn't know the behind the scenes stuff. I didn't know the LLC. And then next thing I know, I open an LLC. I'm thinking I'm got everything good. And then my guy who looks at my books like, bro, we can't have LLC. You need an S corp. Like you're making too much now. Right. And I'm like, oh crap. Why do I need that? Well, freak it. Let's get it done. Like, you know what I mean? Like then now taxes come along. I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff. Yeah. So it's like now, I wanted you on here and I want to talk about this because there's a lot of people that don't know this stuff. Like there's a lot of people that aren't aware that they could be saving themselves money. There's also a lot of people that don't understand that business and discipline and consistency literally go hand in hand. They do. Weight loss and business are the same thing. Anything that is worth having is the same thing. Anything that is hard is the same thing. It's hard to stay in shape. It's hard to get in shape. Right. It's hard to start a business. It's hard to keep a business. Right. People don't understand that. And the more podcasts I could have where I could talk about not only weight loss, but stuff like this it needs to be an eye opener that we got to wake up and start working ourselves. Right. Because you said it amazing. And I want to grab that clip and post it on Instagram because like, it all starts, don't hit you up if you haven't worked on your damn self. That's right. Right. If you don't have some type of discipline already, don't contact me. Right. And it's amazing that you said that because I have literally a video where the back end of the team was like, we shouldn't say that. But I'm like, no. Don't hit me up if you want to lose 20 pounds in a week and that's it. Right. Like I don't want to work with you. Right? You want to crash diet, you can find that on Google. Yeah. And that's some real stuff because you're right. If you haven't took the first, at least get your toe in the door, then you're not ready. Right. Because this stuff is a lot of work. It's scary. Right. Like 100%. Like as we're gonna dive into, and I'm gonna share more about my mess ups, and we go back and forth. People are gonna find out a lot about me where they can easily use to judge me. But obviously, I put this out there, so you can't really judge me on something I've already shared. Right. But it's something that it's scary for a lot of people. But it's an eye opener, and I felt like I had to fail in order to teach. Well, I had to fail and become better in now order to teach. And obviously, I'm still learning with it. Right. But it's just hearing you talk is like weight loss, business. Literally, they're like two entities.
Why don't we make it simple for even the listeners? So let's just say some of your clients. So people are going to say, dude, I'm not at that level. I don't even know what kind of business to start. Let's talk about how you can save money and then it'll come to you. So stop paying so much in taxes as a W-2 earner. So somebody that's following you and let's say is signed up for your program, this is what works for me. So I'm going to say it that way so I don't get in trouble. Okay. I'm not an advisor whatsoever. Disclaimer again. So somebody signed up for your program. They've got great results. They have a W-2 job and they work somewhere. Their goal is obviously to inspire others. About 90% of them start to tell you that, right?
A lot, yeah.
Right? They're so inspired about their transformation. They've gotten results. Now they want to go teach someone else. That's just how it works.
That's how it goes.
Each one teach one, and that's what it's about. They can go to InkFile and go ahead and start an LLC. Mind you, again, he has a regular W-2 or she has a regular W-2 job, whatever she does for a living. But she signed up for your program. He signed up for your program, got great results. Go to InkFile, and for $700, go get an LLC. Call it something, whatever, Bill Fitness.
Whatever, yeah.
Okay? They go ahead and do that while they're working their W-2 job. Now they have a business on the side. I don't know about you, but I know now in this day and age, I've already learned, and a lot of people are seeing, that LLCs are also for influencers and fitness people. Yeah. As long as you're posting, right? And as long as you're talking. So just because your client signed up, I mean, they might want to post themselves in their transformation now and their dieting. So now they have their LLC. Their W-2 job, they will be taxed 30%, whatever it is they're doing for a living. If they would like to see and keep a little bit more of that, when they have their LLC, they can go file their taxes, and now they're going to save more money because now that fitness thing they've done with you, they could write that off.
Oh,
it's learned education. As long as you're doing learned education, you can write that expense off. So they're learning from you. So now their LLC fitness, they have proof they've been working out and paying you. And at the same time, now it sounds to me like when they go to the gym, they're also shooting content. They can shoot themselves working out. That's a write-off. So now as you start to have more write-offs, then they're going to say, well, wait, my business isn't making money. Your business doesn't have to be making big money.
No, that's what you just claim a loss. And now you save on taxes.
That's it. P&Ls, baby.
That's it. Well, people don't know that, like, bro, this place is a write-off.
Right.
My heavy modified LLC is it's a brand that's about, everything that we do is, we have the ebook, we have, the gym content.
Correct.
All my gym memberships, all write-off. Now we don't write off everything because that's not good. But you get what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff is now is a write-off when before I was just doing it, not knowing that I could save money by doing this. Or I actually need to spend a little bit more money to save me money.
Right.
Like people aren't really aware of that stuff. But all this stuff, this equipment that I bought, all write-off.
All of it. And literally everything is written out that way because you own a business in this country. It's written out, again, like we said earlier, for real estate investors and for the business owners. So that's how you can start as a regular person right now. You don't have to be a superstar or millionaire, and there's plenty of content out there. So do I encourage people to sign up for courses? Do I encourage people to sign up for fitness courses? Of course, because that's learned education. Because at the end of the year, they're going to say, well, what did you spend your money on? Was it personal expenses or business expenses? And that's where the write-offs come in. So you could either give it to Caesar, the IRS, or you can go ahead and put that in your pocket. I mean, I don't know, but I'm not trying to give my money up like that.
No.
Hard-earned money you guys work for. Why are you giving it away like that?
And they're saying, is it true that we're, for the 9-to-5 W-2 worker, they're saying that they're giving away about 50% of their money a year?
Just about. Because
the tax, they're getting taxed for their paycheck.
When they go
plus
buy stuff.
buying stuff, they're getting taxed, and then IRS tax, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the year, whatever it might be. So it's saying like almost 50% of what they're losing 50% of their money.
That's why when people walk around saying I make $100,000 a year, that's nothing. They make 50.
Nowadays. No, we could get into that.
That's nothing.
We could get, because that's not a lot of money.
No.
And I used to get now.
Right.
We're talking today, Anthony Lopez. If you would have said that 5 years ago, bro, I would have fucking punched you. Honestly, because you know what I mean. I'm just being how negligent, like how ignorant I was at the time, right? I heard that like, what do you mean 100,000 a year? That's a lot of money. That's my first goal. But now that I'm there, I'm realizing it's not.
Right.
It's not. $100,000 ain't $100,000. My Uncle Joe would start when he had his business. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot different. And it's and I know people will hear that, like, it's so triggering, right? Because I also have to remember too, I'm not just talking to an audience of Anthony Lopez heavy to modified. I'm talking to an audience of also Anthony Lopez 400, 500, 600 pounds.
Right.
You know, so I always like to reiterate when stuff like that said, because I know how triggering it could be, because I know how I was when I heard people say stuff like that. Like, you're so ungrateful, but at the same time, it's not being ungrateful. It's just true.
Right.
Because now that I put in the work, but also can understand, I understand how I felt at that time when I heard someone say it, but now I put in the work, I get it. Like 100,000 is not a lot.
Right.
And I will get into it. You know, a bad one without it and bad with it is when we moved here.
Right.
I blew through $60,000 in like 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months, I blew through $60K.
Wow.
Yeah. You'll be seeing that. You'll be helping with that. No, you know what I mean? But no, and that wasn't credit cards.
Right.
That was cash.
The cash.
Like as in like, I
Yeah.
get paid every single week.
Yes.
Blew
yes.
through it, right? Moved in here. And I want to share that before I keep going any further, I just want to kind of touch bases that just because we have discipline in one thing doesn't mean we have discipline in everything.
Right.
Right. And I'm not saying it was okay what I did, but I'm sharing my story because that's why you're here, because you're gonna help me build my credit. I'm gonna share every single time I go, but we'll have you back on every 6 months. And I'm gonna document this because I messed up. And a little bit more of why I messed up now. Definitely an excuse, but this was my valid excuse before I started, right? So grandpa got sick. Well, before that, the Camaro. I told you about the Camaro, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't afford that. So everything was on credit cards, right? $10,000 credit card. I don't know how I got approved for a $10,000 credit card, but they gave me that.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of other stuff too, right? My credit was good though because I didn't mess it up at the time. Grandpa got sick, stopped paying all that stuff. I took care of my grandpa. Didn't care. I paid the Camaro. I paid what I had to pay for the house, and that was it. The two things that that was it. But everything else went to collections, and I stopped paying everything. Like I didn't care. Like I was really, really focused on my credit at one point, and then once my grandpa got sick, I completely didn't care about anything. Not the best financial decision, but morally, I could fix my credit. I couldn't get that time back on my grandpa that I got to be there and take care of him for that time. So I don't regret it. Business side, horrible decision. Personal, morally, I would do it again, hands down, because I'm already building my credit again. And then it just like once everything hit the fan and my credit went from like 770 down to like freaking 520, almost like it was low.
Right.
I didn't care anymore because think about it. It's like, oh, I got to rebuild again. It's going to take too long. I got to pay 10,000 here, 5,000 here, 2,200 here, 1,500 here.
Right.
So I just didn't care.
Right.
I was like, whatever.
Right.
I'm too far gone, right? Like we do with weight loss, right? Oh, I'm too far gone. Well, I'm already here. Now I'm just going to stay here. Oh, I'm happy here. I don't mind being overweight. Like we lied to ourselves. I lied to myself when I did care about my credit at one point. Then fast forward to everything. I'm not going to sit here and have a long ass story. Fast forward to everything. Social media happened. Started making some real money. Started doing online coaching. Started making some real money.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know how to act. Right. And so instead of me going and paying off some of the things, or finding someone like you, which I'm surrounded by them. Right. Right. Because I just met you a month and a half ago. I've been surrounded by people like you for the last 2 years. Yeah. And I tried one time and it never happened. But you know what I mean? Like you said, I didn't want that information. Right. Because it was funner for me to go out and buy this expensive stuff and these cool in the Louis Vuitton shit instead of me work on myself. And I'm being honest, I'm calling myself out. Now I had discipline everywhere else, but now my finances, right? Go on vacation, go, bought the watch, but, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And it was all materialistic stuff when I had have so much money so much other shit I got to pay off. Yeah. But I wasn't caring about that because I've already was bad without it. So now I'm bad with it. Right. And so now fast forward to where we're at today. That's why we're having this conversation. Like I'm like reeling everything in because if I want to grow my brand more, then my credit has to be right. Correct. And if my credit's not right, then I can't do this, or I can't invest in this, or I can't grow the business, I can't help with things. Like, you know what I mean? There's so much things I have to do. I can't get a bigger place so I can have a podcast studio set up. You know what I mean? Like it's not possible. So, as we continue talking to this being bad without it and bad with it, I'm sharing a lot of stuff that a lot of people won't talk about because they see the big following, they see the whatever, my cool view, and they think everyone's perfect. But at the end of the day, there's so many people behind the scenes. There's so much I'm only a little bit in debt now. I'm almost in single digit now. I'm excited. Right. But people like go off this fake facade. Like they see this thing and they think this person's 100% God, and not knowing that person can't even get a loan for a car.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And I was number one. That's why want to have this conversation is because I did that. I messed up, and now I gotta hop in the ring right now. Gotta hop in the ring and get it done.
As you're telling me that, man, I had to get some water. Apologize, everybody. As you're telling me that, and we were mentioning earlier of the language, we made those decisions based on the language that we heard growing up. It was ingrained in us. And a lot of people heard the last name Rockefeller. They've heard the Bilderberg. Like they've heard these names, right, that run the world. The difference between their family and ours is, let's just say, the Rockefellers, what they'll do is when you're born into that family, you're going to be involved in a trust. Okay. There's a trust set up by let's just say the ancestors, the uncles. And what they do is when you're born in that family is they'll go ahead and take out a big insurance policy on you. And they attach it to the trust. Okay. So now you're a family member in there. Now this trust, if you get into life insurances of how you can be your own bank, they have cash value. There's certain ones that are set up to have a cash value and a death value. The cash value you could borrow from. So what they do is, let's say you're born into the family. We're going to go ahead and take out $1 million just for numbers, which is higher. They get bigger ones. We'll pull out $1 million life insurance policy that has $1 million cash value because that's what we put in it first. When it gets put into the trust handles all that. Everybody can borrow from there, the cash value. It still has a death benefit on there. When you die, no matter what you borrowed from the cash value, it gets replenished from the death benefit value. So therefore, you borrowed from it, but it never depleted necessarily because you died and it still paid itself back.
So the other people kept winning.
Everybody keeps winning and helping each other, right? And everybody can borrow from their cash value.
And you have 50 people with $1 million+ bank account,
right?
Or what are they called again?
The life insurance,
policy.
Yeah.
That's a couple. That's a couple businesses you can start up right there.
And a lot of people don't understand that you can take out these insurance policies and be your own bank, so you don't pay interest with the banks anymore. So now you borrow against it and you replenish it. Borrow against it, replenish it. It still has death value, so it's $1 million life insurance, but it has a cash value of whatever you started it with, or as it builds in time. So if you start off, let's say, with $1 million one, but you only put 500,000, you had 500,000 liquid, and you went ahead and got that thing. It has a $500,000 cash value that you can always borrow against and pay back.
On top of whatever you put in. Does it add up? So if you add to 500,000, can you pull out more than 500,000, or does it stay at 500,000?
That 500. Now, if it increases because interest built on it, tax free,
then you can borrow from whatever.
Right,
from
whatever's there. And so that's how you stop borrowing from banks. But what was interesting to me is that family, when you're born into it, that's what you get automatically. So the language is different from families that come with that information and knowledge, and you have to teach and teach. So now that you've broken out of, let's say, that from your family or your lineage, it is going to be up to you to teach those around you and your children.
Yeah,
right.
Agreed.
And that's the only way we're all going to change, right? So no one that comes out of you should ever be fat again.
That ever 100% no,
right? You're not.
Well, moving forward, my kid, I can't change my cousins and
right. Your kids. So if your kids are born and you're gonna be like, yeah, for breakfast, go ahead and I'm gonna play some PlayStation, have some cereal. You're not gonna tell your son that.
No, he's about to be eating eggs, baby.
Right.
Got to get him buff.
You have him set up.
Buff.
Right. And so that's really where it starts. And that's why we're really doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Because we do want to give people information.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be gurus. We're trying to expose already people to
a new
different
lifestyle.
Way. Dude, different.
It's a life change.
Right.
It is a life change. When you start working on yourself and your health and your physical and your mental, it's a whole nother life. Right. As cheesy as it sounds, right? It's a whole nother world.
So when you explain it like that, you already feel it and you see it because you have the knowledge. So when you see a fat person, you're like, dude, it's not as hard as you think, right?
I 100% feel that way, but I don't say it because I know it is.
But
like,
you know,
I know, like, you could get it done.
Right. So this is how I feel when it comes to credit. Earlier, you said you went into debt, and originally when you went into debt, the counts were big, right? Let's just say 10 grand on one of them.
No, they were.
Right. But let's say one card was 10 grand and you messed up on it. And a lot of people do. You only owe the original debt to the original creditor, as I said last time I was on here.
Yeah, you said that.
Okay. So if it was a Chase credit card, bro, you messed up on 10 grand. If they charged it off on their taxes and they got paid out through their insurance, it's no longer a debt of 10,000. Whoever they sell it to, they buy it for pennies on the dollar. So I want everybody to remember this because I don't want them thinking they can't move forward in life. I'm tired of people saying, oh, I'm on $40,000, $50,000 in debt. And I ask them, really? So is that old collection debt? And they're like, yeah, from 4 years ago. Well, it's no longer $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. It's pennies now. And depending on what state you're in, I'll remind everybody, whatever state you're in, go to Google, find out what's my statute of limitations in particular state, said state, for consumer debt. Once they find out that year, depending on how old your debt is, it is no longer deemed collectible. They can no longer ever harass you over it. It sits on your credit for 7 to 10 years before it falls off on its own. But that's where we can come in and remove it for you. But I want to free the people from thinking they still owe that high balance. You do not owe it. After 120 days that they charge it off and got paid, it's no longer that balance. So that's no more excuses from anybody. You don't owe that 100 grand. It is now pennies on the dollar.
Don't be like me. Just push it aside. I think it's going to go away.
And so what
If it
happens,
doesn't-
and the reason we want to share that is because as we build this monster in our head, this lie, we become procrastinators because we're crippled by the fear.
Yeah, we were scared. Like even the IRS stuff. Like I was like terrified to handle this stuff. I'm like, oh, they're gonna just pull out whenever I need to. I'll figure out one day, and next thing I'm knocking on my damn door, right?
And
But
instead,
it is fear because it's you're scared of the things you don't know. Right.
That's exactly what it is.
And I'm just being honest. Like I was like, God damn it, like I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know this, and like, and it's so crazy because I preach this: don't run away from your problems. But yet, at one point in my life, I'm running at freaking obstacles head on.
Right.
And then other stuff that I'm scared of, I'm like, oh, maybe we could do it next week.
Right.
We'll call our IRS next week. And that shit turned into
Do you know
like
how
4
real
years.
what you're talking about is? The fear is so real to the imagination that you build. Look what happened to the entire world 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody had the imaginary bug of whatever that was. Yes, it was real in the sense that people got sick from it, but we built this imaginary monster because of the propaganda put into our minds.
Yeah.
So we do the same. We put the propaganda into our minds like, oh, the IRS, I owe them. Oh, I owe that debt. I'm just not going to say nothing. Hopefully they don't find me. How do I know that? Because I did that for so many years. I ran. I was so scared of going head on with my problems.
Yep.
I was so scared to face what is credit, man, because I was in the low 400s 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I was so scared of when I owed the IRS money. And I was like, And then I called them and they're like, no, we'll just set up payments. I was like, what? Why was I running
It's like
from
this
you?
big old beast turned into just like this little fur ball.
And I had a sweet old lady. I forgot her name at the other end of the line.
The same thing happened with Frankie
Dude.
too. She called him like she brought us up a
Sweetheart.
plan, and she's like, "They're so nice." I was like,
Dude.
really?" And I know now. Like I'm not dumb anymore. Like I've learned as much as I can. I probably definitely learn more. That's where I'm gonna learn from you.
Right.
But she was like, "Yes, you're so nice." I'm like, "Yeah, we just pushed this off for so long." But
That's what
it
it
was
is.
all through. And once again, it's accountability. I had the money, even if I did have to pay the $10,000 card and a $7,000 one and a $3,000, whatever they were.
Right.
I've had the money,
Yeah.
but I still chose to put it towards such materialistic shit and not face my fears head on. Now we're doing it, right? I think I told you that number up there on the
Yeah.
fridge started at 28,000,
Yep.
and now we're about to be in the single digits, right? Literally $2,000 more. We're in a single digit number, which is big, and we
Right.
did that in the last 9 months.
Yeah.
28K or almost 28K in 9 months. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
And so that we worked hard. We've been, but if we could already been done. We
Yeah.
could have already paid that off.
Sure.
And the worst thing about that is what I'm learning is that I paid them off my credit card. Then I go swipe it again, right? Go get bottle service,
Yeah.
$1,500 for a bottle, right? Because my friends are here
Yeah.
and all whatever it is. I got this
Right.
bottle. Like it's Vegas. I get it. But I'm understanding that I want real wealth.
Right. Exactly.
Like I want to have real money. Like I don't want to have the fake stuff. So in order to do that, I can't be doing what the people that have the fake money do.
Right.
Right.
So
The flashy
that's
shit.
the next level right there.
Yeah.
When you make this kind of money and you own a good, successful business and brand you're building, you got to get rid of, you heard of this, you got to get rid of the money fast. And it's not on material things that depreciate, right? It's going to have to be in real estate. It's going to have to be in insurance policies.
Something's
It's going to
gonna
have
grow.
to be something really tangible that's going to grow that. And you have to put this instant gratification aside. And we all hear this. This is why, to the point of fear, why I don't allow people that are not making 20 grand, have not changed their body, have not had success in their personal coaching stuff going on, because I already know you're still facing your fears. You're still scared at that person in the mirror.
Yeah.
If you've not faced that person in the mirror, don't call me, like I say. You can't, because you're gonna flake out on me, which is flaking out on you. You're not really gonna make that change. So if you told me, yo, man, I got 100 grand and I'm really trying to get rich. All right, you really got 100 grand? No problem. This is what we're gonna do. Instead of putting it in the bank and collect nothing of interest, and it's not gonna grow, and you're doing them a favor, right?
Yeah,
You're
'cause
borrowing your
they're
money.
taking your money, making money off of it, and they give it back to you.
Right. We can go get 2 little properties, maybe 3 in Texas right now. Okay. $40,000 each. Let's just say it's 100 grand, $50,000 each. And there's a renter inside of them already, paying $850 a month on each one. You're making $850 on your 50 grand, bro.
Every single month.
Every month, like
Until-
clockwork.
like clockwork.
And your 50 grand is still sitting there. It's not going anywhere. As soon as rates drop, what I would say is, hey, let's go ahead and refi that house. That mortgage is going to be $200. Let's go pull out 40 grand and go buy another one.
and now you're making 8 plus 8 plus 8.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get my first property. I'm very excited to what you're like. Everyone listening right now, like this has already been the game plan. Like I didn't just meet my boy and then this is now the game plan. Like this has been my game plan. Now I had the game plan, but I have the blueprint. Right. But now I have the blueprint and now we're focusing on first step 1, step 2, step 3 and I'm going to update everyone with this because, buying my first property is going to be amazing. Now I do have a property in Anaheim, but that was left for me from my grandma. So I don't know. I know the work she had to do to get it, but I don't know the work that had to be done to get it. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I know how hard she worked for that property.
Right.
But I need to now own my own thing, and then I'll have 2 now.
That's
You know what I mean? And then we'll go from there to Vegas to, my goal is to go to Corona and I'm gonna buy a big property there, which, we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna document it, talk about it, share it, because at the end of the day, like I'm not just preaching a lifestyle change and not actually doing it.
Right.
Like this is now like I'm now sitting with, X amount of money to actually do this stuff.
That's right.
And the knowledge and building the discipline to say no to crap. Minus that jet ski that I'm probably gonna get. You know what I mean?
Right,
But that's for family time.
That's it. I just want people that are listening to this now and later in the future to just stop lying to themselves, man, because you're being lied to. That's all I want people to take away, bro. They're being lied to by everything and everybody, and most importantly, to themselves.
Yeah.
The more they keep putting off everything, dude, you're just a liar. And you got to get tired of that, man. I need you to wake up already. Make the decision. You got to hit him up first. Get your life straight. If you've been on the fence, I want to tell people, if they've been on the fence to change their life, it starts with your habits. It starts with Big John doing you a diet plan. It starts with you making him another plan. Like, they have to make a decision for the inner self, man. If your inner self isn't feeling good, you are not going to build any wealth.
Once you realize that you're not happy, it's up to you to fix it. Like, people don't really understand that. Dude, you know what I mean? Like, once you feel any type of sadness, unhappy, whether it be physical, whether it be emotional, whether it be something that you see in the mirror that you don't like, whether it be your bank account, whether it be the car that you drive, whether it be the girl that broke up with you because you had nothing to offer, or vice versa, that's really when it's up to you to change it. Like, once you realize you feel some type of hurt, some type of feeling, some type of emotion from it, it's up to you to fix it. Like, that's it. Like, because now you constantly will be feeling that, and then you're going to keep telling yourself that you're not worth it of fixing it.
Right.
So then how do you feel when you're not worth it of fixing it? You feel not worthy.
That's right.
And when you feel not worthy, that's when you start going down the drain. Trust me, I learned a thing or two.
That's what it is, man.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, dude, my biggest challenges that I had and I faced, I was able to change my life when I stopped doing what I was doing. When I gave up drinking officially or messing with anything, bro. And it's been 8 years, solid, and everything changed. You know what I mean, Frankie?
Yeah. Frankie's over here freaking making coffee in the background.
I see it.
I was over like, is she really making coffee right now? But no, and you've also put in the work.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? And you've changed your life around.
Right.
And you understand how difficult it is, and you understand the work and the effort and the long nights, the long days, which it sounds like I'm talking like a weight loss journey. I always say they go hand in hand.
They do.
It's one of those things that now you're able to speak on it, right?
Right.
I said this last time, and I think I told you right now too about someone that contacted me to like help me grow my following, or not my following, my business or whatever it is. And if you're a business and you're talking to me about how to grow my business, then you only have like 500 followers, 1,500 followers. Why am I going to take advice from you when I'm sitting here at 250 and growing every day?
Right.
Right. Like, and I simply broke it down as I'm not trying to be rude, but if I was 600 plus pounds right now telling you, hey man, you got to get your life together and lose weight, are you going to work with me?
No.
You're going to look at me and say, bro, you got more problems than I do. Right. And it just falls to things is that you got to put in the work for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. You got to continue to work and grow yourself, your brand, grow your relationship, your relationship with yourself. Yeah. Whatever it is, like, it's up to you. You got to get that done yourself before you could even go in and try to pour in other people, or even tell someone what to do, or even suggest something honest. Let's be honest. That's what it is. In that situation, right? Everyone has something to offer. Someone told me that, and the way I think of, like, if you don't make $1 million, I'm not going to take financial advice from you. Someone said, I get that, but everyone has something to offer. So I did change my mindset with that. Maybe you can't tell me how to freaking write a book, but you can help me save my money. Yeah. So everyone has something to say. Yeah. But at the same time, like, it all falls within you. Yeah. Right. And you just said that, like, if you don't start taking yourself serious, if you don't start getting your life together, if you don't start working on better habits, then you're never going to change.
Yeah.
And once you feel that emotion that you need to change it, you choose not to fix it, you just told yourself you're not worth it.
At the end of the day.
And that's it.
That's it.
So what do you want to say? You got to send them off with something.
I will, man.
You got to send them off with that.
I didn't want this to be where it was going to be a one and done, a two and done. Like
No,
you said,
you
we're
said
gonna-
it's going to take 6 months to help
we're
get
gonna
my credit
document
together.
your
I'm
journey.
excited.
Because I believe that when you have something to show the world, and the receipts, as they use that term nowadays, are there, that's what people really believe. But you know, humans have always been that way. Seeing is believing.
Seeing
to
is
them.
believing.
And that's cool. That's fine. And I think we need to show them exactly what's going to happen with you. I want you to document everything,
And
most
Frankie.
importantly, and Frankie, of really where you take your current state, as you've already proven this before, and become where you're going to be in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months.
Next 6 years. We're going 6-year plan.
6-year plan.
Well, my credit will be better 6 months, but I'll go 6-year plan. Frankie is just gonna get her stuff situated and then go get a $50,000 surgery. So we got to be careful with her. We got to put her. We got to cap her at something. Like, I don't know. I need to be co-signer of everything she does over $500 or something. I don't know. But no, it's gonna be good. And I think right now my credit scores are like 650. I think it went up a little bit. I've started to pay some things off. With fortunately, it sounds like I didn't have to. Yeah. But you know what's all right. We're here now, right?
That's what I want everybody to learn.
So we're gonna get that done, and I appreciate you for helping, and everyone out there listening. Like, I kind of want to end with this. You know, we talked about a lot of different things, but it all ends with the one thing: you starting. Now, I know what it is. If you listen to this for financial reasons, you got to start by fixing your credit. Yep. If you listen to this because this is, heavy to modify talking, you thought it was going to be some type of weight loss story, then, you got to start that weight loss. Like, no matter what, it all falls in line of what you need to do and what you want, how you envision yourself and what you're willing to do to get there. Right. That's it. It falls on you and only you. Stop blaming other people. Stop pointing other fingers. Go in the mirror right now and point the finger right in the mirror. And it's going to go right back at you. And that's a person that needs to make the change today.
Well, your whole company says it. So you went from heavy to modifying your entire life.
That's it, heavy to modified.
And that's
except for Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be just heavy. I'm just be heavy. I ain't gonna be modified that day, man. No, portion control. My goal is to be 260 by the end of the year. Yeah. And then this is really important, man, because only people listen to my podcast really. I don't do a lot of promotion for my podcast. If you notice that, right? You're like, I didn't even know you posted, Sean. Like, I need to do better with that, and that's a goal. I told you that's a goal. My 2024 goal is to do better with that, right? And the team's gonna help me. But only the people that listen to my podcast, which is a lot of my clients love my podcast. I appreciate it. I really love my clients. Thank you guys so much guys and girls for supporting. But only they know like who Anthony Lopez is. A lot of people know heavy to modified. Right. But only the people in the podcast really get to know who heavy to modified is and who modified Frankie is, because this is like the behind the scenes stuff that like can't make a vlog on this. Right. Like, this is stuff that we're talking about, stories of relationship, of our own credit, of our own mess ups. Yeah. People are so scared to share that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so when you're listening to this and you're trying to better yourself, understand that as I'm sharing that my credit is 650, some people are like, oh, that's amazing. No, it's not. 800. I'm going for 800. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I share this stuff. Just know that you're not alone. And I was scared of the IRS. Bro, I don't know how. I know exactly how I did. I swiped credit cards like crazy. Yeah. I've messed up. And I feel like so many people on social media and in just life in general trying to paint this picture like they're perfect, and just understand that don't compare yourself to anyone else. Because I know a lot of people that a lot of people follow and look up to and think they just live this lavish lifestyle that don't got more than $5,000 in their bank account. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. I'm being true to it. You know what I mean? One thing that I said I was going to do when I was going to start this brand, when I started this company, heavy to modified. Once I turned down that contract to lie for taking a certain tea, I knew that I was going to do this the right way. Right. I knew doing the right way is going to take me longer because I'm not trying to get rich quick, but I know it's going to be long term. Yeah. Right. And so I share this stuff not for hoping for you guys to sit out there and judge me for my credit score, or judge me for messing up on my credit, or swiping card, or spending $60K in like 3 months. Mm-hmm. I share this because I'm sharing my mistakes, because I'm working on it. And then once I work on it and I become better, now I get to share with all of you, understand that I've been in that position. I know how it is to mess up, but look, you can still fix it. Right? Because just because I changed my weight loss around and my mindset of that didn't mean I changed it financially.
Well, you're going to be their uncle, as that uncle was there for you that exposed you to the business.
There it is.
So you're going to expose them to the truth.
Yeah, expose the truth. I understand. Get out there and take action to what you need to work on. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's not financially right now. Maybe it's physically or mentally or emotionally or spiritually. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm going to share this. So we got to, you think like what? Every 2 months get you back?
No, I say every 30 days do a checkup.
Do a checkup. Get you on 30 days, man.
Every 30-day journey. We'll show every 30 days.
Yeah, I got to see what
what's
my
going
credit
on.
score is right now, actually. It's probably like 650, 655.
We're going to build business
I swiped my
credit,
card a
do
lot
all
this
that.
weekend. Went to F1.
Did you? Wow. I was only able to watch F1 on YouTube.
I should have only been able to watch it too, honestly, man. I'll learn one day, I promise.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
what I
be
got
there
you
next year.
for.
Yeah,
you're
we'll
gonna
be
be
there
you're
next
gonna be you're gonna be uncle to me getting my shit together.
It'll be a write-off.
You and
next year.
Angel. Oh, let's go. I like
It'll
that.
be good.
Then I'll
It'll be
take you.
good.
I'll bring you along.
It'll be good.
All right, boss, man.
Hey,
Well,
man.
if you want to send them off with your Instagram
Yes.
or your whatever you want to plug up, man.
Both handles, GC the Coach and GC Credit Coaches. I DM everybody.
He does. I seen it.
do.
I was like, bro, you're crazy.
Yes. I want you guys to ask me questions to the point of what he's talking about. I want everybody in this. If you have a Social Security, you should have an 800. DM me. I want to see how I can help you get to an 800. GC Credit Coaches, GC the Coach. There's no reason why you don't have an 800. There's no reason to be in the dark. There's no reason to be living in fear. There is much more waiting for you. You just need somebody to explain it to help you. So when you DM, it's me DMing you back. If you call, there's some people that hit that call button on Instagram, and I answer.
I love that. Me
FaceTime.
too.
I'm like,
if
what's
I
up?
have the phone next to me, I'll
Yeah.
pick up, and they're like, bro, you picked up. I'm like, yeah, man. That's thanks to you. I'll have another podcast because you gave me an amazing idea. I think that's more business.
What's
like
that?
actual where you told me like focus on me doing the calls.
Yeah.
We went from 13% closing rate to now 27 to almost. I think we're about 30.
Let me ask you both this, Frankie. When you met him, did he say, "Hold on, let me let you speak to my assistant," or did you speak to him?
No, he was all up in the business.
Right.
So talking to me.
Right. And how did you? It worked out.
Yeah, that
Now
makes sense.
imagine the sales call's the same exact.
Yeah,
thing.
no, that was
Right.
And like once again, it falls in. I knew the right thing to do,
You did.
but I needed like a
Confirmation.
confirmation,
That's all you
right?
needed.
Which is so weird, right? When I'm like, it's you have the right answer in your tongue.
Why don't we tell everybody that? Everybody knows what to do. They're just waiting for confirmation.
Yeah, I tell
Everybody.
everyone this.
Everybody.
Everyone has the best version of their self inside already.
Right.
It's that voice that tells you not to touch that thing because your parents said not to.
Yes.
It's that thing to say, maybe I shouldn't take steal this car right now because I'm
Yeah.
probably getting in
Yeah.
trouble. It's that I probably shouldn't eat this food because it's super late right now. It's I probably should go to the gym because I'm bored right now and I have the extra time. It's always talking to us. We just shut it up so much that the voice gets weaker, but we still hear it.
Yeah.
Right? We go serve that big ass plate and we're
'cause we
like,
want that
damn, it's a lot,
cookie.
but we want that cookie. But we want that plate. I'll start tomorrow. And think about it. That's your own personal credit score going down every single time you shut yourself up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, going to go to the gym, and then I'm gonna go grocery shop and meal prep. You wake up, you go get McDonald's, you don't go to the gym, you go home, you play PlayStation, go to sleep, your credit score just went down.
Yeah.
You do that again and again and again and again. Next thing you know, your credit score is at negative 50, and you got to build yourself up to 50 just to get back to zero.
Right.
And then you got to build up from zero to get to 50. You know what I mean? So think about it. You've been shutting the person that you want to become down for so long, you're just used to it. But just because you're used to something doesn't mean it's right.
So you're saying people shouldn't be eating that pumpkin pie on Thursday?
No, you should just portion control. They should
like
be.
that. I
They
heard you say
should
that
be
today.
eating pumpkin pies. You should be eating a pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Right. You could have
Yeah.
a slice, not slices.
Yeah.
Right. And people are tripping out over that Thanksgiving place, 2,400
I
calories.
saw that, dude. I was like,
just
man,
is-
you making me hungry, dog.
Bro, we all ate it. Big John ate that whole plate. Honestly, I won't throw that one out there. But you know what I mean. But no, he said we made him. Yeah, we made him. We tied him up and we force fed him.
That's
you know
why
what I
he's
mean?
wearing a sweater to
Yeah,
hide it,
yeah,
huh?
to hide the panza. You know what they say? The bigger the panza, the better the chanza. He's good.
You know what? I'm gonna do something. This is 2023 right now. It's November. For one of your listeners, we're gonna put together, you and I.
Let's do it.
I want to give away a credit repair for one of your clients or listeners. We're gonna do something like that.
Big John, you can't win this. Stop looking. He's over here like,
Yeah,
damn.
we're gonna put something.
You're
together.
not. You know what? At the end of 2024, he might be my client. He keeps on eating the way he does. Honestly, he might be on my program.
So
soon.
we'll announce it here like this, that we're gonna put something together, and then you'll put it out on your Instagram on the stories.
Yeah, we'll let him know. We'll pick
Put
it.
a little contest so somebody could win.
Get the
a
credit
free
score.
credit repair.
We'll just put this whole clip up on here, and then I'll put your. I don't know. We could figure something out.
We'll figure it out. man.
You know what I like when we do stuff like this at the end because there's someone listening right now that enjoyed this whole podcast.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh wait, my credit score went down 50 over the last couple of weeks, a couple of months, whatever. I could use a little bit of help. Let me get this for free. I really enjoy that. So maybe we let this sit on the podcast for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And then maybe we get someone that, sends a DM, but then we'll go to Instagram, because you got to remember, like, someone's actually cared enough to listen to us talk for, how long has this been? An hour. This is an hour. Another hour podcast. An hour what? Hour and 5 minutes. Someone actually made it to the end. So let's, if they're listening and this is you, that you're like, I could really use someone free. Just comment down below. And then we'll give us like what? We'll give us a couple days. If someone's gonna listen to it, they're gonna listen to it.
Listen to it.
And I think because your podcast comes. So today today's drop, this podcast drops on Friday. You drop Friday. Yeah, this one drops Friday. So this Friday you drop.
All right.
After Thanksgiving, after everyone's their credit score is low for me too. You know what I mean? And then we'll give it to maybe Monday or Tuesday. Okay. And then if we don't get a hit on that, then what we'll do is we'll post on Instagram. We'll take this clip and we'll post it. We'll cut it up, post it. And then we'll see who hits you up, and hopefully you can have someone out that is, someone that supports me. I think that'll be dope. That's cool of you, man. That's the way to get back for the holidays.
We have to, man.
Let's do it, man. All right, so you heard it first. If you're looking to get your credit fixed, type
GC Credit.
GC Credit.
Coaches.
GC Save Me. That's what you got to put in the comment section. GC Save Me, because I'm going to go put that my damn self, because he's about to help me out.
There you go.
Man, thanks for coming and dropping knowledge, man.
Yeah.
It was really cool how we met up. Linked up. Got to meet your brother.
Yeah.
Hung out with him, hung out with Big Boy and stuff like that. And it's really cool to to hang out with like-minded people. Yeah. Because I'm very new to Vegas, so to chill and talk with you and have you on the podcast back, a couple times, it's going to be really cool. So now we just got to get you in the gym with me.
That's it.
I got you. We got you talking business. Now we got to get you doing the business.
Got to get shredded and ripped.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Diet starts Monday.
Let's do it.
All right, big dog. That was a good one. I like that one.
For myself and my family, there's no way that this is real, man. It can't be.